Welcome to this session. My name is Luca, and I lead digital banking programs in Southeast Asia. Today, I'm going to talk to you about customer engagement and specifically about how to rapidly implement digital customer engagement channels. In this session, we will cover what customers expect from interactions with a financial institution, share the results from the digitalization of financial services, and finally, dive deep into an AWS customer case study to understand how they created a digital bank from 0 to 100 in only 9 months. Let's get right into it. Southeast Asia's high mobile penetration, young and digitally savvy population have made it possible for tech companies like Grab, Gojek, Shopee, but also Lazada, Facebook, and Instagram to redefine the way businesses interact with customers. Business and customer relations have gone through a fundamental shift from being product-centric to a customer-centric approach. This shift has sent ripples throughout several industry verticals, and financial services is certainly one of them. Thanks to the advancement in technology, customer expectations have dramatically increased. Customers now expect personalization, products and services designed around the individual, rather than individuals adapting to the product and services banks offer. Importantly, customers are now accustomed to having a consistent customer experience across any channel, anytime, and they expect to be able to interact digitally. This is especially true of the upcoming Gen Z demographic, 11 to 26 years old, the new banking customer of today and tomorrow. These customer expectations have already influenced the banking industry from a few years back. And more recently, we observed 3 trends in 2020. The first is that regulators in Southeast Asia are seeing digital financial services boost financial inclusion. For example, Singapore in 2019, Malaysia and Philippines in 2020 have already issued digital banking frameworks. Singapore, in particular, has already awarded 4 digital banking licenses, out of which 3 have been granted to tech companies. The second trend observed is a clear bifurcation between a traditional financial institution and tech companies, accelerated by the COVID-19 pandemic. Some companies were able to quickly adapt to the new socially distant normal, while others struggled to serve corporate and retail customers without face-to-face interactions. And lastly, agility and speed are paramount. Financial institutions who were able to quickly react and come up with online offerings had a clear competitive advantage, especially on the customer acquisition side. During the global pandemic, average screen time increased dramatically, and as a result, the customer experience was put under the spotlight. Research shows that 75% of customers now expect consistent customer experience. 86% would pay more for better engagements, and 95% of global consumers plan to use digital banking post-pandemic. So digital customer experience is key for doing business in the current times we live in and in the future, and it has to be done right. Financial institutions have realized that digitalization is no longer simply nice to have, but it's the direction where the industry is headed, because that's where the customers have headed. It is no longer a matter of if, but when, and we are seeing 3 different types of banks emerge as a result, shaped by a combination of their heritage and their approach to digitalization. The first type are challenger banks, and they are usually tech companies or startups who leverage their diverse and engaged customer base to build a story around financial inclusion and apply for a new digital banking license. Their mission to empower individuals is well aligned with the purpose of digital banking licenses, to give everyone equal possibility to do banking, regardless of the amount of funds they own or whether or not they live in an area served by physical bank branches. The second type are digitized hybrid banks, and they are traditional banks who decide to start their transformation journey, which requires not only extensive commitment of human resources and capital, but most importantly, time. Transforming a traditional bank is a 3 to 6 years effort. And finally, there are the digital bank offshoots. This is the results of a traditional banks understanding the urgency to disrupt themselves or risk being disrupted. To achieve digitalization in a shorter amount of time compared to a full transformation, they create a subsidiary or an extension of the core bank that will start from a clean slate. This is a separate bank relying on the main bank license, but with a separate tech stack. And this is the story of TNEX, the digital offshoot of Maritime Bank, a Vietnamese heritage bank that acknowledged early that rapid transformation is needed to win and opted to empower a separate unit to achieve what would otherwise be a medium to long-term goal in just a matter of months. TNEX is Vietnam's first digital-only bank to offer free everyday banking for life. It was founded in 2020, and it took less than 1 year to go from an idea to reality. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Brian Carroll, the Chief Executive Officer of TNEX. Brian is a veteran in digital banking industry and an experienced practitioner in data science, digital marketing, information security, and tech architecture. Before joining Maritime Bank, he held senior position in banks, fintech, and venture capital firms around the world. Brian, I'm excited to hear about where it all began with TNEX and what is your secret sauce to launch a digital bank in a record 9 months' time without compromising on security, compliance, and customer experience. And I hear it started with a bowl of soup.
Hi, Luca. Yes, you're absolutely right. The idea behind TNEX came to me while I was eating a bowl of pho at a street stall in Hanoi. And I saw customers interacting with merchants, but they weren't connected digitally. It was this interaction of the unbanked meeting the unbanked that got me thinking. So the idea of TNEX fundamentally came out of inclusion. Our belief is that every person in Vietnam has the right to bank, to support their lifestyles, and every merchant has a right to leverage digital commerce to grow their business. Vietnam is an absolutely fascinating country with remarkable culture and characteristics. In digital, there's about 140 million active mobile plans and internet usage penetration of 70%. Vietnam is a mobile-first country. The population is young, with an estimated of 25% of the workforce being Gen Z in 2025. However, 58 million people are still underbanked or unbanked. This is one of the target segments that we're focusing on. This is actually the main segment we're focusing on. The other segments we want to capture is within that segment is the 4 million micro merchants that constitute 80% of the companies or enterprises in Vietnam, 40% of the GDP, and circa 50% of the employment. So in order to serve these segments, we really needed to overcome the challenges that the Vietnamese market presents. The first challenge is undoubtedly cost. In a country where the average yearly wage is around $2,170, every dime, every dollar, every dong counts. So the majority of the population can't afford to pay for financial services. Traditional banks have intrinsic costs that they need to charge the customers to achieve profitability. Technical debt is actually one of them. And in Asia Pacific, the average age of core banking system is 17.5 years old. And a lot of the technology deployed is pre-digital, it's industrial. Another cost is the extensive branch network, the physical presence, and it obviously drives costs, and it's a fixed cost. The second challenge is customer experience. I feel there's a fundamental mismatch between what banks offer and what the customer actually wants. Banks typically offer products like loans, savings, payments, accounts, investments, but customers are actually really concerned about their lifestyle, about what their needs, about their food, their healthcare, their education. And customer experience, what the customer actually wants, traditional banks typically don't directly address that. And like to further exacerbate the problem, Vietnam is a country with a low financial literacy index if we compared it to, understanding of financial services in a traditional way. So they don't understand why banking would be useful, so therefore why they would need it. TNEX is free for life. Everyday banking free for life. We can do this because we estimate our advanced use of technology, data science, robots, and automation make our services on average 97% cheaper than a traditional bank. With this difference in cost structure, TNEX is able to give its customer an offer that goes beyond just financial services. TNEX offers an ecosystem for solutions for every micro and small enterprise, and in both rural and urban areas. So the TNEX app gives customers access to offers and products that match their daily lifestyle and financial needs, for example, savings, eating, chatting, entertainment. These are delivered or distributed via an online marketplace or ecosystem that is supported underneath by TNEX Digital Bank. The TNEX Digital Merchant app gives merchant a website immediately where they can market their products. We give them cash management, order management, qualified marketing, qualified targeting of customers, inventory management, but we present it in a way that's understandable. The whole ecosystem is fueled by TNEX Energy, which our customers can earn and burn, but with our merchants, creating a vibrant flow of interactions between consumers, TNEX, and merchants. TNEX also treats each customer as an individual. Traditional financial institutions are constrained to normally address the customers or group the customers into segments and personas, and then target and deliver and distribute their services and products to them. TNEX, on the other hand, leverages this data to create a personalized experience for each customer, allowing us to move away from a product-centric approach to a customer-first or customer-centric approach. In fact, TNEX first hires were a psychologist and a sociologist to understand our customers, not a financial or technology expert. That allowed us to design a UI UX that is simple, intuitive, and built around the customer. The first step, obviously, being to truly understand the needs, behaviors, the psychology, the emotions of our customer. Every small detail has been co-designed with our customers, even going as far as designing our own set of emojis to demonstrate emotion and fear and happiness in various guises. In a country where financial literacy is low, as I said, our experience has to be intuitive, has to be accessible, has to be free of banking jargon, and therefore promoting financial inclusion and education. Lastly, TNEX has no technical debt because it was built entirely on AWS, with our partners, with our digital native partners, and with security and scale innately in mind. It's built in. No one built a fully digital bank in Vietnam before us because it's a business model question. Traditional finance institutions are focused on making a profit with their current cost structures. So traditional financial institutions try to lift existing applications and shift them to the cloud. But without optimization and cloud enablement, it's futile. Profitability will still take a hit. We firmly believe in TNEX that a bank can't become digitally great without cloud. So TNEX, in reality, we need to focus on scale to achieve profitability, trading analog dollars for digital cents, working with a high number of customers and transactions. And this is how we built TNEX from ground up in 9 months. Thanks to the cloud, we deployed a modular bank, a Lego bank, leveraging open architecture and standards, and designing it from its very foundation to be scalable and automated. All the components of the parts and design patterns that we've adopted, in many cases, are readily available on Amazon, and it's a configuration and an integration exercise. AWS and Mambu, our core banking software as a service provider, have in many ways democratized these tools. They're freely available. So AWS has allowed us to innovate faster and cheaper. We can also iterate and fail fast to learn and then quickly improve. Without AWS, it would have been impossible to operate in this way. Impossible. I suppose in addition, AWS Managed Services operates on our behalf, providing a secure landing zone, a proven enterprise operating model, ongoing cost optimization, and day-to-day infrastructure management. AWS Managed Services helps TNEX reduce our operational overhead and, most importantly, our risk. At TNEX, we leverage partners to kickstart the business, and this vastly reduced our time to market. But there's one thing we wanted to build on our own, which is our customer data platform, because we believe it is the pillar of our value proposition and the driver of our unique customer and user experience. Financial services organizations, as many will know across the world, are literally drowning in data, but are unable to drive or leverage the data science that gives them clear, consistent customer insights. Financial services, unlike tech companies or tech banks, are also burdened by legacy of product-first IT systems, slow evolved bank-first processes, siloed change resistance, working practice, and non-digital mindsets, talent, or let's call it culture. All of these need to be addressed to digitally transform any organization. So to truly know your customer, you must leverage data science. TNEX successfully unlocked the power of data by removing the barriers between different types of data and its sources. We have used the power of tools like Amazon SageMaker, Amazon Kinesis, Amazon Redshift, Amazon Pinpoint to help us easily collect and process and analyze for insight data in real time. Data science, AI, and ML are big parts of Vietnam's digital revolution, well, all digital revolution, because it allows us in TNEX to personalize our services, better protect our customers, gain their trust, and service their needs at the correct moment, at the key moments. Yes, the journey we started in 2020 was from a bowl of soup, but it couldn't have been possible without the help of our trusted partners who really understand our mission and care about our success. From AWS, our cloud provider, to platforms like Mambu, to tech partners like TechX, we've always operated on a partnership level instead of a vendor to customer level, a traditional level. We pick and continue to pick our partners very carefully and look for a company whose culture, not just their technology, their culture and values are aligned with ours, and with whom we can have a long-term relationship, just as much as we want a long-term relationship with our customers. AWS helped us set up an amazing environment to build our bank. And as a result, our IT and operation teams are actually the smallest, very productive, but smallest number in the company to date. Our partner Mambu provided us with a world-class modular core banking system. And while TechX, our local partner, helped us to deliver consistently and to the highest levels of quality and very quickly. We are actually very excited to have our partners along the next chapter of TNEX and hopefully play a successful part in the digital banking revolution in Vietnam. While most traditional banks are at the early stages of an expensive, complex digital transformation, we have a 2-year head start because everything we built is new. We will continue to provide compelling free banking for life to our customers. We're targeting 3 million customers within 3 years and 200,000 active merchants to be on our platform. And we're targeting to be profitable by 2023. We are proud to be part of the digital revolution in Vietnam, and we will strive at all times to increase inclusion, our values, and foster the necessary exchanges between customer and merchant, strengthening both customer and merchant. Thanks to our unique customer experience and our cloud-native setup, it allows us to relentlessly and consistently focus on innovation and at all times focus on better serving our valuable customers in a digital way.
Thank you, Brian. It's exciting to see how TNEX is going to grow in the coming months and years. It's remarkable how quickly TNEX started operating from scratch, leveraging AWS and its partner ecosystem to be the modular bank in only 9 months, without compromising on security and compliance. I am looking forward to seeing TNEX success in revolutionizing the way banking is done, and thrilled about TNEX's mission to make banking available and affordable to the 58 million underbanked in Vietnam. Thank you very much for joining our session today. I hope you enjoyed it. We'd really appreciate if you could take a moment to fill out our feedback survey to help us continue improving our AWS Summit in the future.